Hi again. On today's live, I want to wrap up the time thread that I've been sharing this week with what I think is possibly one of the best tools that you can use to make significant leaps in your productivity. And if you're lucky enough to have a team, once you've got this working really, really well for yourself, you can then introduce it to your team, and the improved results that you're achieving can then be compounded throughout your business. Now, there are some very clever people out there, people who are getting paid a king's ransom to find ways of catching our attention. And sadly, it would appear that they're winning. Take an everyday device like this, mobile phone. Now, I don't know if you know, but it's been proven that if you place a switched off mobile phone on a table, it will still draw the attention of people sat around the table. It's switched off. But we're still in the habit of expecting the phone to ring, ping, ding, or whatever else it does. And I do believe that we need to get back in control of all our distractions. And the tool I want to share with you today is designed to take you from distraction to traction. Traction towards the goals and the results that you want to achieve in your business and in life. So rightio, what we need to do is shrink me out of the way, get rid of that banner, bring up the presentation. So let's see if I can remember how to do that. So the banner's gone. And can someone let me know in the chat that you can see that presentation? Just let me know. Just give me a thumbs up in the chat. Okay, brilliant. Thank you. Okay, so the power plan, which I want to introduce you to today, is a strategy that's designed to ensure that you're able to manage and optimize your three most precious resources, which are your time, your energy, and your attention. That's why I say you must always make the tea. First for yourself and then for the rest of your team. Because that's your actual job. Your actual job as a business owner is to direct the time, the energy, and the attention of both you and your team towards the highest value activities or the highest result achieving activities within your business. The place to start with is to discover who's drinking all your tea, or a better way of saying that is who or what is draining your time, your energy, and your attention. This is really important because when you allow that to happen, what you're effectively doing is giving away your power. And as a business owner, you've got an ever-broadening range of things that you're expected to do when you're running a business. But you've got limited energy. Such a wide range of roles is a real drain on that energy and on that power. First of all, you've got the queue of the people that form outside your office or your metaphoric office, wanting to discuss something or pick your brains. Now, have you got a minute, boss? And what often happens is they want to pass their problem on to you. So you end up doing someone else's job, and that's a further drain on your power. And your own to-do list just keeps getting longer and longer and longer. That's another drain. This can often lead to you feeling the need to multitask, because you often have to interrupt what you're doing in order to do something else. And then you get interrupted while you're doing something else until it can get to the point where you don't remember what you're trying to do in the first place. And the idea of multitasking, well, that's just a real killer. Because it often leads to you working late in the night or giving up your weekends to play catch up. And that can leave you feeling a bit burnt out and frazzled. And it often feels like you're a pinball getting bounced from one thing to another and not really getting to do the things that you want and need to do. But that's not what it's meant to be. That's not how business is meant to work. And the idea that you can multitask your way to a better business, that's just a total myth. Now, I don't know if you realise, but as human beings, we're not capable of paying attention to two things at once. Our brains are just not designed to function that way. We're more like single core microprocessors, where we create the appearance that we're multitasking, but what we're actually doing is we're switching rapidly back and forth between tasks. But here's the thing. That switching comes with a cost for processors, and it comes with a cost for people. The cost is lower efficiency, lower performance, and often can result in a breakdown. So what I suggest is that instead of your brain or your diary or your plan for the day, week or month or year looking something like this, where you're just letting everything come at you, you're going to have a far better chance of taking control and being successful if you create a power plan for yourself, a plan that's designed to take this disorganized mess that you can see on the screen there, which is what most people's plan looks like, and transform it into something that looks a bit more like this. Now, before I get into this, I want to stress, this is just an example. You're going to have to work towards creating your own version of this, a version that works for you. And it's going to take a bit of groundwork, but it's so worth the effort. Because instead of coming in at the start of the week and your time, your energy, and your attention getting sapped away, you've already got a plan for exactly what to focus on so that you're working on the important stuff and getting the important stuff done in your business, all the high value activities, all the high result activities. And also by having one of these, you're also going to be able to realize when you're off track. And that means then you can course correct at speed. Now, I don't know if you've realized during the course of this week, but I'm a bit of a sucker for an acronym. And POWER is an acronym for Perfectly Optimized Week for Exceptional Results. Perfectly optimized week for exceptional results. I suppose you could change the E to effective, and then you'd have a perfectly optimized week for effective results, whichever you want. So let's now have a look at how you could actually go about creating one of these for yourself. And who knows, you might want to start drawing yours up now. I just want to give you some ideas to get your own creative juices flowing. It all starts with you deciding the hours that you want to work, and it doesn't have to be the same every day of the week. That's a bit of a novel idea, and it decide the hours you want to work. Now, you don't have to do what I've done here, which is theme the days. But by theming the days, what I'm actually doing is I'm sending a signal to my brain that this is my number one focus. And that means that if I can tick off my number one focus every day, it doesn't really matter what the rest of the day throws at me because I've already won the day. And in business, we need to count our victories. Now, the first thing you want to schedule in is the things that you need to do to maintain your energy. So that could be things like meals, exercise, chill time, time to meditate if that's your thing. By the way, of example, what I've done here is I've put in lunchtime. Still thinking about medicating myself. Then one of your most important assets is your team. And having one-to-ones with them is so important and helpful for you to keep on top of everything. And what you'll notice is that what I've done here is I've stacked them all together. So there's less of that task or brain switching going on. Now, I do realise that some of the people watching this might be a team of one. But what you need to remember is this is just an example. And the truth is that even if you are a solopreneur, a one-man army, a one-woman army, a one-person army, all the functions that I'm about to show you still need to happen within your business. And you'll need to allocate time or more time to the ones or the areas of your business that need most attention. So as I go through this power plan, I just want you to be asking yourself, are these tasks in your diary? Or are they being left to chance? Or maybe, heaven forbid, they're not happening at all. So having had those one-to-ones, the next day, what we can now do is hold a full team meeting where all the agreed actions that came out of the one-to-ones can now be captured so that everybody in the business knows who's going to be doing what, who, what, by when. Get your teeth right, get it? So the upside of doing this is that you'll also be creating a bit of accountability within the business. Now, I realise for some people, accountability, it's a bit of a dirty word, but actually, all it means is people doing what they said they were going to do. And often it's easy to say, but it's not always easy to do. A couple of other useful things that can happen in that meeting is, firstly, you can cascade any communications that are needed as a result of one-to-ones so that everyone in the company knows what's going on. And you, as the owner, can also get to delegate what came from the one-to-ones. Because one of the biggest challenges for being a business owner is that you can end up with most of the work, and that's all on top of what you've already got to do. And often, members of the team find themselves unable to carry on because they need guidance from you, the owner. get that done in that meeting. So actually scheduling that time whilst everything's still fresh in your mind, that's a really useful thing to do. And remember, you can create this however best it works for you. This is just an example of how the elements you might want to think about. So now we've got the most expensive asset, the team, sorted. Now you can start thinking about what you need to focus on to take care of the business. So for instance, Monday morning, you could block out some time for implementing changes to improve profit and cash. Get on top of the finances in your business. For those of you that are a bit eagle-eyed, by the way, if you see me looking off to the left, that's because that's where the presentation is today. For those of you that are eagle-eyed, you may have noticed that I've left the first hour of each day free. I'll share with you more about what that time can be reserved for a little bit later. But for now, just realise that I've left that gap there deliberately. After profit and cash, you could reserve a block of time for working on revenue and marketing, implementing ways to improve the conversion rate in your business for inquiry to sale, so that you're actually driving sales and you're growing your business by using your assets much more effectively. And back to the final block after lunch, you could block in some time for working on operations and systems. So you're actually devoting time now to work on the business processes. Then we can always round the day off with some emails and some admin work. And you want to be doing this stuff when you require a lot less brain power. So the end of the day is a really good time for that because you might be flagging a little bit. Now, please note, this also means that you're not checking your emails throughout the day like so many other people do in business. What you'll also know is that when you do things this way, it means you're no longer getting pulled into someone else's agenda. You're staying focused on what's important to you, to your business, and to your future. You're in control, and you're the one who's now holding on to your power. So, okay, Tutor's already pretty stacked up. So what I've done is I've allotted some time in the afternoon to focus on financials and KPIs, where we're dedicating some time to look at the dashboards in the business. And you can do that right after speaking to your bookkeeper or your accountant. So you're actually working with up-to-date and relevant information. And once again, you'll notice by doing it this way, you're eliminating that need for task or brain switching. Now, Wednesday morning, I've reserved some time for innovation and leadership, which is perfect for thinking about how can you communicate your progress towards the vision in the weekly team meeting. And you can see now by Wednesday lunchtime, you've worked on most of the areas of your business, and worked on is really important and key word there, because working in will have your business standing still, working on will see your business making progress. Now, a great question to ask is, what can you do with the rest of the week? Well, wherever you want, you're the boss. I'm only joking, but just a little bit, because in truth, if you stick to your version of this, you will get more done in the first few days of the week than you usually achieve in an entire month, where you've been pulled in every single direction. It's important to remind yourself that you are the boss here, and often we can get drawn to whatever is shouting the loudest. And that's normally the urgent but not important stuff. And you're better being proactive about what you choose to work on. Now, for most of you, you might be thinking, this might be something that you want to work towards in your next sort of 1 to 3 year plan, particularly if you want to spend more time out of the business. Having said that, I do realise that this might be a little bit too flexible for most people. So let me suggest an alternative for how you could actually structure the rest of the week. Now, I do think that Wednesday afternoon, in our example, is a perfect time to get some extra flexibility. Either take the time off to recharge, or spend some time with your family, or energise yourself. Remember, this is your power plan. And if recharging your batteries makes you more productive overall, that's a really smart move, isn't it? Now, Thursday is about focusing on what often gets neglected but needs a lot more attention in most businesses, and that's driving revenue and marketing. Now, if you've got a larger business, you may want to place a larger focus on operations and systems. I haven't got time today to go into the 4 stages of business growth, which shows you where the focus needs to be in bigger, more well-established businesses. I will do a live on that in a future broadcast. But after lunch, what I've done here today is I've placed some time for operations and systems, and a bit more time for admin and email. And then finally, Friday, which as you can see I've themed as Freedom Friday, where you actually take the day off and get away, because now you're building a business that isn't so reliant or so dependent on you. Or it could be, you could be calling it Flexible Friday, where you get to catch up on other things in your business. It really is whatever works best for you, because remember, you are the boss. Now, one of the reasons I'm suggesting getting away from your business, because when you're in the thick of things, it can be hard to think and concentrate. And if you find it difficult to get away from your business, and I know some of you will, as a suggestion, you can use that slot in the first hour of the day to schedule some thinking time, actually creating some undisturbed time to ask yourself some really useful and deep questions that will help you avoid costly mistakes, and where you can come up with some innovative and creative solutions to drive your business forward. Because if you think about it, business is fundamentally an intellectual sport. So if you only don't make time and space to think, you're effectively denying yourself time and space to win. Now, there's a bit of a process that works really well for thinking time, so it becomes really productive and it really does work for you. If you want to chat about that, chat about how to structure that session, then just reach out. Another alternative is to go for it, really go for it like some of my clients do, and switch to working a 4-day week. Now, there's studies out there being done at the moment to show you how effective a 4-day week can be for both the business and employee productivity. Now, that doesn't mean you shut your business down. It could be just you that's working that 4-day week. I just want to change the view again. Just 1 second. Just want to get me back on here, and I'm going to be trying clever and bring that banner back up again. See if I manage to do that. Okay. So that's the power plan. And I just want you to consider what difference having something like that would make for you, for your business and for your life. And how it would help you maintain your power and not let your your time, your attention and your energy get sapped away by all the distractions that are actually vying for your attention on a day-to-day basis. Now, I don't know if you realise, but the true currency in life is time. It's not money. Nobody has a time problem. We have a priority problem. And having a power plan will help you solve that. Now, there's a bit of upfront work and a process to go through to get this working like clockwork for you. But if you want any help with this, just reach out. So that's my first week of live streaming. And next week, I want to switch things up a bit, because everything I've shared with you this week works. It just does. But a vast majority of people will do nothing with it. So here's the thing. If something is good, or it's a good idea and can transform the results you achieve in your business, why wouldn't you do it? You might think, well, that's a bit of a mystery, isn't it? But it isn't, because it's all down to mindset. That's where we're going next week. Tips, ideas, strategies to help you get more control of your mindset. It's going to be great. Now, in the meantime, have a cracking weekend, and I'll see you on Monday. Thank you for watching.